So let us start with the coding. So beforehand, I would like to tell that I'll be creating mostly three methods. The first method is to create the room. The second method is to run the scenario. And the third method is to run the scenarios for a given number of times, let's say 100, to check for the probability. So I'll be creating one public method. This method name I will give it as a create room because here we will pass an integer that is a number of prisoners, and accordingly we will replicate how the room was created in the video. So for now I will make the return type as a map. I'll explain why I'm taking this one. So integer comma integer. This is the map that I want to return, and I'll call the method name as a create room $, and this will take an integer value which is nothing but the number of prisoner. So what this method will actually do is, like, suppose when you pass let's say 100 now as a number of prisoners, so it will create a map containing keys from 1 to 100 and the values also from 1 to 100, but those values will be random. It will not be in a order. Okay, so that particular map we are going to return. That's why I've chosen the return type as a map of integer comma integer. So let me define my map which I'm going to return. I'll call it as integer. Take a map as integer comma integer, and I'll give the name as what name I've chosen. Yeah, room map. So this map will be our simulator for the room that was shown in the video, where the 1 to 100 boxes will be placed, and each box there will be a number slip. The number slip will be of containing the random number. So I'll initialize the map integer comma integer. Now I want to run a for loop to fill up this map. So I'll take one index integer. I'll call it as index starting from number 1, that is the prisoner number, and this loop will run till the last prisoner number. So I'll take the number of prisoner. Okay, so and I'll increment the number by 1 each time the loop runs, and I want to store that number as a box number. So room map, so this is a room map is nothing but our room, wherein I'm putting the boxes labeling from 1 to 100, and in the values we need to provide the random number from 1 to 100 that is not going to be, that should not repeat actually. For now I'll just put this one only, and I'll print and see what we have, then we will slowly improve the code. So I'm putting system debug here to check what is coming in this room map. And since currently I'm in the development phase, so I'll return null for now in order to remove those errors. Let me save that. Yeah, so I'll just execute this one. There's no riddle. Then I'll create an instance for this one, and I'll call my room create room. I'll pass integer. For now I'll pass 10, and we'll see in the log what is being generated. So if I click on debug only, I see that. So it is saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 till 10. The map is generated. I don't know what is coming. Let me check from 1 less than equals to number of prisoners. Okay, fine. So this is the room map that we have created. Now I want the values to be random. So to generate a random value, I will use the standard function, that is the mat.random. So I'll just see, yeah. So let us take one integer here. Let me define the integer outside. Integer is a random slip that I'm going to create and put that in the box. So this random slip is going to be coming from our standard function mat.random, and I'll multiply with the number of prisoners so that it should not exceed that particular value. And then, yeah, this is going to return me a floating value, so I'll convert into an integer value of this one. And also yeah, and also I like to add one because this is going to touch the upper limit. Fine, so I'll put that thing. Now instead of passing the index in the value, I'll pass this random number that is being generated, and we'll see what will happen. So if I'll run the same code, so now we see that numbers, the key part is 1 2 3 in the order 1 to 10, but the values part are all random. But here we see that the number that are in the value part are repeating 6 and 6. So we want the value part to be unique and randomly placed. So for that, what we will do is we will take one boolean. We'll call it as generate sleep. That's a question. Okay. So in the very beginning, we are going to make this as a true. Generate sleep equals to true. Yeah, generate one sleep. We'll put one if condition. Rather, we put one while condition so that we can iterate. While generate sleep is true means I'm telling that generate one sleep, and we will put this code inside. I'll explain you. Okay, and I'll say that, yeah. So if I'll say that, suppose when I'm running this code, I'm telling it to generate one sleep, it will come here, it will generate one sleep. This particular integer, if it is already been generated, okay, so then we want this random functions to run again till the time the number that is generated by this uh, function, random function, that is going to be unique. So for that, I must have to store the generated number in a list of integers so that we can take the reference from there whether the number is generated or not. So I'll say that list of integer, and I'll say that is generated sleep. Generated sleep. This is going to be a new list of integer. Fine. So suppose for the first time when it is coming, the generate sleep will be true. It will say generate sleep, the random sleep will be generated, and this sleep will be added over here. Yeah. Let me just confirm. Okay, before adding that one, we will check that if this random sleep is inside the generated sleep list. So let me check that if generated sleep dot contains this random sleep, if it contains, then I'll say continue. Fine. And if it doesn't contains, then what we can do is we can add that thing to our map, that is our room.